What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NFC North Roundtable. It is your boy TD from Roundtable Sports, joined by your NFC North host, Dose of Dion, Basaraki, my man Nick, and One Bar in the house. This stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. We're going to dive right in tonight. We got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, congratulations once again to the Detroit Lions for winning the division. But congratulations are also in order for the Green Bay Packers, who have officially made the playoffs. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, One Bar. You came up short this year, but we'll get into all of that. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go subscribe to Roundtable Sports, okay? Roundtable Sports is the mother company of all roundtables here with the NFC North Roundtable. That is what this channel is being brought to you by. Roundtable Sports brings all divisions together, brings your favorite rivals to come on one platform and talk their talk and represent their team and their fan base, ladies and gentlemen. So again, make sure that you check out Roundtable Sports. Go subscribe to all channels on Roundtable Sports, especially this one, NFC North Roundtable. Don't forget, on Roundtable Sports, 3 and Out show is every Monday night between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. Here it is right here. This is the mother channel, and it shows you all of the roundtables. So make sure that you go subscribe to them all if you want to support, and make sure that you hit the like button and watch the videos. And also, they're all listed below, as you can see. And at the very top is the 3 and Out show that I was telling you about every Monday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., where some of your favorite hosts here on NFC North are also in on the game show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have to hear first and foremost from our man Basaraki, the Green Bay Packers scooting into the playoffs. Congratulations. How do you feel, man?
I feel great, man. It's still crazy to say that, right? Like the Packers are in the playoffs because during October, I think the Packers were 3-6 after that month, and we're kind of all sitting here going, what's next for the Green Bay Packers? Is Jordan Love the guy at quarterback? Well, what's next for the Green Bay Packers is they have a playoff game, and Jordan Love is the future at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And no matter how this weekend goes, guys, Packers fans, I see you all in the chat with the Go Pack Goes. Appreciate you guys coming by. No matter how this goes, this is still a win for the Green Bay Packers. This season as a whole, it was an evaluation of Jordan Love under Matt LaFleur, the first year of that, and we're talking about the playoffs and what was considered a rebuild/reload type of season. I'm super excited. This is a matchup that I'm so excited for. Mike McCarthy versus the Packers, Matt LaFleur versus Dan Quinn, who he coached under in Atlanta. Super excited. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack Go. And Dose of Dion, we already celebrated you guys winning the division with the Lions. How do you feel today?
Yeah, well, how about that, man? Bass just said it, man. The NFL got it the way they wanted. I'll say that. They got Lions, Rams. I mean, they got all these matches. You couldn't draw it up better, to be honest, with the teams that are in the playoffs to get the matchups that they wanted, man. This is going to make for some good TV, but there's no way I'd rather have it, to be honest with you, to know that you have an opportunity at your home field to face Matthew Stafford. I mean, we're going to talk about this game, and I know there's people concerned. Oh, man, Rams, a good football team. They're feeling good right now, and this is true. This is all true, but as a Lions fan, is there any way you'd rather have it? I mean, truly, like if it could work out the right way, you get the chance to beat Matthew Stafford, your first home playoff game in Ford Field. That's how I like it, man. So I'm excited.
Well, congratulations to both teams. They're at the top of the mountain because right now the records are 0-0, and they both have a fresh opportunity to do something special and potentially make a run on the Super Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you check out Roundtable Sports merch store as well. That's where you can get all of your latest merchandise for NFC North Roundtable. Also, the Detroit Lions 2023-2024 NFC North champion shirts are up right now. Make sure that you check those out. They're selling like crazy. Go ahead and cop yours today at roundtablesportshop.com. The link is in the description of the video. And you also have all the other merch as well for Roundtable Sports for the NFC North. So make sure that you check it out. And Dion's, yours will be on the way shortly so that you can rock it for the entire offseason and next year until you are.
Hang that banner. Hang that banner.
Oh, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had two games this weekend, division opponent versus division opponent. We want to dive in and talk to the guys about what happened. We're going to start out with the Detroit Lions beating the Minnesota Vikings 30-20. Man, oh man, oh man. We're going to start with Nick here. Nick, talk to me. What were your thoughts when you saw that game and the outcome?
Well, it was a high-scoring game like we talked about, TD, and it was definitely entertaining to watch. I thought that I honestly thought at one point that the Vikings had somewhat of a shot. Like, they weren't going away, and it was only a 10-point game. I mean, I did pick the Lions to win. I knew that was going to happen, and I knew Dion wanted to end on a winning streak to enter the playoffs on a high note. So, I mean, it was overall – the Lions look good. The Lions are definitely going into the playoffs with their heads high. They have a lot of confidence right now, taking on their old guy, Matthew Stafford. But I don't know. It worked out really well for Detroit. It was a good way to end the season. They needed it, especially after losing to Chicago a few weeks before. So happy to see the outcome. And, for one bar, it kind of gave him the answer. It was kind of good for him. They were saying last week, like, do we go for the draft pick? Do we not? But, now one bar, I think you're at 12 or 13 now. So at least you have somewhat of a good pick entering the offseason.
11, baby.
11. Oh, even better.
Oh, man. Hey, Bass, talk to us. What were your thoughts watching that game?
At least, it didn't mean much for either team. I would say I know the Vikings still had a slight chance at the playoffs, but I mean, let's be real, right? But it was a fun game to watch, in my opinion, just because it was like a classic, like NFC North type of game. It was a high-scoring game, like Nick said, kind of as we all thought it would be. Mullins slinging the rock. I mean, I feel like when I was watching it, there was just so many explosive plays after explosive plays. So it was definitely like interesting from an outside perspective watching that game. You Justin Jefferson going for $192, Amon-Ra St. Brown for $144, Aiden Hutchinson's going wild. So, but yeah, I agree with Nick with this one. Like, the Lions definitely needed this going into the playoffs to kind of get that, momentum going. And then, of course, playing against the Rams and Stafford and Goff versus the Rams and all that. Like Dion said, this playoffs is just set up perfectly. Like, it's like a book. It's crazy. But the Lions getting a win here is huge for them.
There you have it. Wow. Oh, wow. Talk to us, Dion. How did you guys do it?
Man, I mean, look, I think what Bass said, shot plays that we gave up in that game they're two plays that specifically, like, you have the first one with Cam Sutton and the coverage that he's in, he can't let that guy get over top. And then you also had the other shot, which was on a 4th and 1. They got a 1-on-1 with Jefferson, and they took advantage of it. So I give Minnesota a lot of credit for those two things. Man, I think for us, it's more so like I just feel like this is the team we know exactly what to expect when we head into the playoffs. The biggest thing was the additions back of Aleem McNeil while they ran away from him. And my biggest concern was, man, the Vikings ran the ball. I mean, the Vikings ran the ball well, and they just didn't run it a lot. Like, they were in a position where they couldn't run it. Ty Chandler and one bar knows he averaged 5.75 yards a carry. That's not good enough, for the Lions heading into the playoffs. That's got to be better. I thought they went at Benito Jones in that game, but the positive was CD Deuce is back, got himself an interception. Aleem McNeil is playing really well, and we're seeing Romeo Quora emerge. And I think that's going to be the key. Like Bass said, Hutch has played really well. He's having his best stretch of the season to finish it off. So we know what this defense is. They're going to give up yards, but the run defense has to be on point. They got to take the football away. And I think we saw some.
One bar, what happened, man?
What happened? First off, I don't give two craps about the draft pick. I wanted to go on a win. Wanted to win, wanted it bad. Before I get into the game, my biggest takeaway from this game is more from the Lions side. It's like I was banging the table for Dan Campbell to get the freaking starters out of there. Sam Laporta goes down, St. Brown goes down, Branch goes down. I'm like, when are they going to take their starters out? Like, that was just absolutely insane to me. I know they were playing for something that was crazy, and I think it's going to bite them in the ass. I don't know what Laporta's status is right now. I'm sure we'll find out soon. But I mean, Vikings offensively, they had a good game. They put up yards. They controlled time of possession. They even got yards on the ground, which was not expected. I mean, we don't do that. Same old story. Turnovers killed us. It was brutal. Penalties killed us. We shot ourselves in the foot. Good teams don't do that. So as many yards as we put up, good teams don't do what we were doing, and it bit us. It's been biting us all year. You cannot give up the ball. You cannot have those types of penalties and expect to win. As far as the Lions, I mean, if I'm the Lions, I'm a little nervous. The fact that Nick Mullins put up 400 yards twice in 3 weeks. I'm a little nervous that Ty Chandler got some yards on the ground. Granted, Justin Jefferson was playing out of his ass. The dude had a game. I mean, I'm glad he got his 1,000 yards. I'm glad he was smiling at points during that game. But overall, the Lions did what they should have done. They beat us. The most frustrating part is we continued to make it close, even with all of our mistakes. So, is what it is. We go out with a 7-10 record.
7-10. Let me ask you though, one bar. Had you all won, did you have that chance of getting in?
Nah, we were done.
It was done.
Regardless. That would have made it sting just a little bit more.
Wow. So it worked out. It actually worked out in you guys' favor when you really look at it from a draft perspective. Okay. Well, man, what a game though. That definitely was. Let's move forward to the next game, which was a huge matchup as well. That, served one team glorious and the other just more of what they've been doing. Green Bay Packers beat the Bears 17-19, a cringe game all night for Green Bay, just so close, making sure that they held them off. Very interesting. I want to go right back to you, One Bar. What were your thoughts in that game watching it?
I mean, Nick, I've been on your team. I've been pumping them up, saying, the Bears are showing life. Bears are looking good.
That's why they lost.
Justin Fields. And
thanks, One Bar.
They made me look like an idiot. They looked like shit. They looked like crap. I don't know if it was just me, but even in the beginning of that game, it's like the Bears are going to lose. Like, you could just tell. I know it was still close, but it started with Aaron Jones. Packers running the ball, Aaron Jones. I mean, the buck stops with him as far as how far the Packers are going to go. And then Bears defense didn't even really look that good. Tyreek Stevenson, the dude is going to be a baller. But when you run the ball with Jones, obviously things are going to open up with Jordan Love. Justin Fields, gross. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts as far as I know you want them to trade out of it. But Justin Fields, they could have put a bow on this season by beating Green Bay. And they just, after that game, it's just a bunch of questions again. So.
You have it. Talk to me, Dion, on this one.
Yeah, I want to know from Nick, because I know it sounds like we got some Eberflus news that he's going to be the guy next year, but it doesn't sound like it's confirmed. So I want to kind of know his thoughts on that here in a sec. But yeah, I think One Bar nailed it, man. The run game for the Packers has been like the difference. Like, it's felt like, okay, they found something there, and Aaron Jones is playing well. So that seemed to kind of change everything for them. But I look at the Bears side, man, it's like, okay, it felt like it kind of gave clarity because Eberflus and his defense, it's been on point. They're going that direction. But then at the same time, I feel way less confident in knowing whether or not Justin Fields is going to be there. As just a Lions from the outside looking out, that was an opportunity. 9-17, that was an opportunity. And obviously it wasn't there. But again, I don't know. It's just weird, man. It's weird because I don't think the Packers defense is completely awful. But at the same time, they also played the Bears. So, I mean, I guess that's. Look, I didn't even try to hate, Nick. I just want to know, can I please get your thoughts on the whole situation with Eberflus? How are you feeling about that? Because I haven't heard from a Bears fan on that.
TD, you want me to hold off?
Yeah, no, please, because we were going to go into that anyway.
So when they announced this morning, what was funny was I was in a meeting with all my bosses, and my phone starts blowing up, and I'm like, hang on, I gotta check this out real quick. And then I see it, I'm like, damn, I like Eberflus, and I've said it before, he really turned things around for, a guy that had tons of adversity within House Hall. He lost his defensive coordinator because of things that we still don't know about. He had to fire his running back coach because of behavior issues. Chase Claypool was another nightmare, and he still ended up finishing the season 5-3 in the last 8, beat 2 of the 3 NFC North NFC North guys. He did a good job. Guys in the locker room really like him. I got a chance to talk to a couple guys offline, a couple interviews coming out of my channel over the next couple of weeks. All of them were pounding the table for Eberflus. So I have been too. He's a positive guy. Videos, he's running up to everybody. And today in his press conference, he sat next to Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles said, "This is my guy. He's leading the way." And Flus went through every single starter and then gave a shout out to a couple other guys for 15 minutes straight, just positives, bringing up different things. So he's very invested in this group, and the group is really invested in him. And, kind of going off of the other question for Justin Fields and Eberflus, kind of gives the answer. Like, if they would have gone out and got a new head coach, I see a new quarterback coming in. But the fact that they're keeping Eberflus, I think they're going to stick with Justin Fields again. And this made my heart happy. Eberflus went out and roasted Getsy for like 5 minutes straight, saying you play the scheme for your quarterback strengths, not the other way around. And everyone in the room kind of like took a deep breath, was like, oh crap. Like, he started taking shots. And then he also started saying, we need an offensive coordinator that doesn't have the locker room against him. So I feel good about Eberflus. I think he made a lot of mistakes, and he admitted that, which made me feel better. Like, it makes me feel better, want to see results. But overall, seeing what he did after being 2-7 after 9 and finishing, 7-10, I was super pumped about it. So
yeah, that's pretty dope.
Again, I give him another year. Locker room's behind him, and that's what really matters.
Well, what happened in this game though versus the Green Bay Packers, man?
Okay, so I everyone was saying, or One Bar said it. He goes, I think I might just be me, but everyone was like, the game's over when it started. I think I was the only one that said, no, this game isn't over, because you guys know me well enough that I was pounding the table for the playoffs when we were 0.1%.
Yep.
I mean, the defense was not on their game plan that day. They came out. Matt LaFleur picked us apart. He's 10-0 against the Bears now, which is very frustrating. But really, I look at the blame because think about it. And Baz, I give a shout out to you guys. I mean, you guys have a hot offense. Jordan Love is balling out. But we were able to stop your offense and only allow 17 points, which I take that as a plus. I also take you didn't punt. That is also very true. I'm just saying, like, it could have been a lot worse. Like, it could have been an absolute blowout, but also it truly showed that Getsy was not the guy. And if we would have won that game, we would have stuck with Luke Getsy. I just want to put that out there real quick, that I'm happy with the loss in that perspective. But the game itself, defense came flat on their face. They had Montez Sweat just numbered. Dude couldn't do anything against that Green Bay offensive line. And then the offense just, you have Trent Taylor trying to block a 300-pound defensive lineman, and Justin Fields gets absolutely destroyed. So the game plan from an offensive standpoint stayed in Chicago, and it put the nail in the coffin for Luke Getsy. There wasn't a good amount of running. Fields only threw 16 attempts, which was also super frustrating. Learned that also Justin Fields' lowest passing games both times were at Lambeau Field. So I don't know if it's Fields being scared of playing in Green Bay and he's telling his coaches, or Luke Getsy was holding him back. And, Fields went 11 for 16, 148 yards, did have a ton of drops. That's why we need to go out and get a wide receiver or two. But really, really frustrated. Bass, I saw you wanted to say something. But I'm happy that it's over. I was just happy when it was over. I was like, I'm done. I need fresh blood out there. But at least it wasn't 30-9. It was 17-9. So I'll take that as a positive.
Well, speaking of the man himself, who fought his way into the playoffs with arguably the best quarterback in the division now.
Thank you.
Baz, what happened?
Thank you. Appreciate it, TD. I appreciate it. I think over the last like 6 weeks, I maybe convinced you a little bit, TD. And now you're starting to get on board, right? It's a lower scoring game than I expected. Like 17-9. Yeah, the Bears defense has been playing really well, but the one thing the Packers did exceptionally well in this game is protect the football. Yeah, Jordan Love had a fumble, but it was on a blown up RPO play. But he didn't throw any interceptions, and I think that's massive. Like if Jordan Love had thrown an interception, which I guess he could have had one near the end of that half, but we didn't get a field goal anyways. That could have changed the outlook of the game. But Dion said it best, man. The Packers being able to run the football recently is why we're talking about the playoffs right now. Aaron Jones, 3 straight 100-yard games. There's no coincidence that the Packers are 3-0 now going into the playoffs in the last 3 games. But overall, you got to give a shout out to the offensive line. Nick said Montez Sweat was pretty much, invisible. He was, because Zach Tom was on the same side as him, and that tends to happen this year. Anyone that goes against Zach Tom has pretty much been erased from the game. But the Packers offensive line in general has been amazing in this stretch of wins in order to get the Packers into the playoffs. I believe they're only they're top 3 in the NFL in terms of sacks allowed. So, I mean, Jordan Love only got sacked once in this game, and it was due to him pretty much holding the ball too long. So in terms of receivers, man, I couldn't be more proud of this young group. The oldest receivers that are active right now are Christian Watson and Bo Melton at 24 years old. I mean, you guys like Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and then, of course, tight ends Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave. All these guys are so young. It just gives me so much promise and optimism for the future, not only into this playoff game. And as for the defense, man, I don't know why Justin Fields only threw 16 times, because when you look at this Packers defense and Joe Barry, like the way how teams, attack them, it's by passing. Like a lot of the times there's just people wide open, and there still was in this game. Cole Kmet was wide open a couple times. So I do have to give a little bit of credit to Joe Barry in this defense. Obviously, the past 2 weeks holding teams 10 points or less. But overall, man, I mean, they held them for under 75 rushing yards. Justin Fields, 148 yards passing. It was just a great game plan overall by this Green Bay Packers football team. Offense, defense, we didn't have to punt the ball. Kicking was definitely an issue with the missed kick, and then that halftime weird situation where Tyreek Stevenson knocked, I think it was Tay Wicks, out of bounds backwards. And I was just like, what are we doing? Like, you gained an extra 4 yards. What, a 38-yarder or a 34-yarder? And it's Anders Carlson. Dude's probably going to miss it anyways, but whatever. But luckily, that didn't come back to bite the Green Bay Packers, and we got a well-needed, obviously very important win to go into the playoffs. And I think we do have a chance this week, but we'll get into that.
Man, oh man, oh man. I got to give Green Bay Packers some props, man. They fought with the young quarterback to be able to get to this position and fight to get into the playoffs. It was well deserved. And I'm just sitting back right now thinking to myself, next year, when all of these teams are 0-0 coming into the season, I really don't know who the best quarterback in the division actually will be week one. I really don't. I mean, Jordan Love, what he's been doing, Minnesota, we don't know what's going to happen in that situation. Jared Goff, I think that'll be determined this weekend, if he can, own the team and take it away from Matthew Stafford, who still owns it. Man, and
that's crazy.
Of course, Justin Fields. What's crazy, Dion?
I mean, that's great. You just said he still owns the team. I mean, I love Stafford too, but I may have never won a division here. I don't know.
Well, I get that too. I'm just saying he's the most successful quarterback out of the two between Goff and himself so far. So
okay, I mean, with the Rams, he is. I can give you with the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, Goff is pretty good there too, though. Pretty good.
Yeah, he said he's going back home to take care of business this weekend. We'll get into that later, man. But yes, man, listen, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news in the sports world. By the way, Nick Saban has officially retired from the Alabama Crimson Tide, if you didn't know. That is breaking right now after 17 seasons with Alabama. He is calling it quits. I don't know if that means NFL or he's really gonna, hang up the clipboard. So time will tell. We shall see. All right. But moving forward, this stream is being powered once again by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Again, make sure that supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. BetUS props. You can go online. They don't just have props bets. They also have the casino. But here we are today. Odds to win the NFC. Detroit Lions right now are plus 800. The Green Bay Packers plus 4,000. Man, Baz, do you see your team?
It's like, how are we lower odds in the Bucs? I know you say, oh, well, the Buccaneers beat the Packers, but like generally based off the last 3 weeks, I mean, come on, how would you actually? And I think they're lower odds than also the Browns in the AFC, and credit to Joe Flacco and the Browns, but like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying you got to give a donation for betting, but I think if you sprinkle a little bit on there, that's just great odds. I'm not saying the Packers can do that. I think they're a good team, but I think those are crazy odds when you look at like how the Packers have been playing.
Philly plus 750 is crazy. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's crazy too, right? If Philly's plus 750 and the Packers are plus 4,000, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I am. I hate Philly, man. I hate them.
See that Green Bay Packers bet though, that's the one of the ones where you throw a quick 20 on.
Yeah, exactly.
And all of a sudden, if you win 800, it's a happy Super Bowl matchup. But that 750, I get your point with Philly. They've been one of the worst teams limping into the playoffs, but some people feel like they're gonna win this weekend. But listen, let's hear a word from our sponsor, BetUS. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to know that BetUS is giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets. Literally, they are giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets. Take advantage of the opportunity of you and a friend going to the Super Bowl this year. If you've never been before, make sure that you take advantage of it. The link, the directions are in the description of the video so that you can go to the Super Bowl with a friend with BetUS. All right. We're going to give you more details on that in just a moment. But before we do, let's hear a quick word.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. BetUS, where the game begins. Here it is. Take a friend to the big game. How to participate. The instructions will be in the comment section, so make sure that you check it out below in the description section as well. A few things: if you don't know, place a bet on any NFL line and share your bet slip on X, formerly known as Twitter, with the minimum of $25. Tag BetUS_official and tag the friend you are taking with you. The use hashtag at BetUS with the Super Bowl number, and you will be entered in. Take advantage of this huge opportunity. We know how much Super Bowl tickets cost. You know, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's like, if my team goes to the Super Bowl, let me check my account. I don't know. But hey, that's why I'm making sure I enter the contest. Make sure you do as well. BetUS, receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description. Let your friends and family members know about it as well, all right? Oh man. I got a few more questions, ladies and gentlemen, that we want to ask. But before we do, let's get to some of these super chats that have come through. The first one, Patrick Forney in Green Bay. We don't hang banners, Dion, for division champs.
Vikings done it too.
I saw
Vikings
they tried to write that. I saw they tried to put they were talking to the Lions fans. They don't hang division championships. How you feel about that one, Dion?
You know, I think you got to all start somewhere. Secondly, I don't know what the Packers hang to be on. You know, they don't have a roof.
Championships,
so they put it on the side.
13 of them.
Do you guys actually hang stuff?
Yeah, there's a whole side near the scoreboard. It just lists all the dates that we've won the championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Okay. Sounds made up. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't believe it. I believe it when I see it. You know what I mean? So, hey, look, I'm living in the present, TD. I wasn't born then. Well, actually, I was. All right, let's just move on from this topic. I appreciate you, Patrick, but let's move on.
Oh man. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for showing the channel love and support. We really do appreciate you. Let's move forward to Too Evil to Hope. A nice name, huh? Who was sharing the Vikings? Who was sharing the Vikings would go 7-10 for a month? One bar. That's right. Now the Vikings can rebuild. Let Cousins and Hunter walk and trade Justin Jefferson. That's strong, man. What you think about that?
Hey, Too Evil to Hope. I mean, he was calling that 7-10, but that's not rebuilding. That's getting butt naked and running around. I mean, that leaves us with nothing. I mean, Cousins, Hunter, we'll see what happens there. Justin Jefferson ain't going anywhere. No way in hell. And you know what? There's a good chance that Hunter and Cousins could be gone and we rebuild, but it's got to start with Jefferson. He's still 24 years old. Yeah, and I've been to Lambeau. I don't remember seeing anything hung. I don't know if they know how to hang shit there. I haven't seen it.
We play outside in the NFC North. We don't play in a dome.
I haven't seen it either. I think Bass is making stuff up.
Well, let me ask, what's the top receiver in the draft again?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. What if the team in that position was willing to trade for Justin Jefferson for you all to go get Marvin Harrison? You say no?
Uninterested. No way in hell.
So you don't really believe in when you rebuild, it's going to take about 3 years to start competing again, but yet you have to pay the star during a rebuild when it's not going to mean anything. You're for that?
It depends on the star. I mean, we've let some very good receivers go. Stephon Diggs, Randy Moss, Percy Harvin. You can, and Justin Jefferson, if he was like 27, 28 years old, it's a different story. I mean, they still got to give him his first contract. We're going to potentially be bringing in a young-ass quarterback. We don't want him throwing the Brandon Powell. We want him throwing the Justin Jefferson. Say, just go and chuck up the ball. We need that guy to succeed. So Harrison's going to be fantastic, but Justin Jefferson's on a whole nother level.
What young quarterback are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I think we're going to be trading up. I think we could be seeing that LSU boy play in purple. We're not trading up to the Bears. We ain't giving you nothing. Just got to get the top 3, and we'll see who's left.
So you think the Vikings are going to get in the top 3 picks? You think the Bears are going to trade within a division?
I think they can get in the top 3 picks. It doesn't have to be with the Bears. There's those top 3 quarterbacks where as long as they set themselves up where they know they're going to get one of them and not get stuck with the leftovers, whoever the 4th one is, McCarthy, Penny. I mean, I think they wanted to trade up last year. Didn't happen. And I think this year's crop is even better. And I think they're willing to give up some serious draft picks to go get their guy.
One bar. I gotta jump in here, TD, in regards to this top 3 trade, because the whole game plan in the Bears fantasy world is that we're trading back with the Commanders, just swapping a spot, getting a couple extra picks, and then we're trading with the Patriots, doing a couple picks, and then that 3rd pick for that last guy, Jalen Dan. I mean, it's going to cost a big penny. So if you want that top 3, you're going to have to trade with Chicago no matter what. So send me Justin Jefferson. You can have number 3. All good.
Dude,
give him the money he deserves.
I do not see an interdivisional trade happening within the top 5. Are you kidding? Y'all see that happening?
No,
I'm just saying. I'm just raining on his parade a little bit. That we have.
Yeah, thank you. I have nothing to be hopeful for right now, and now you're crushing my dreams of a potential quarterback.
Welcome to my life for the last couple years. All right.
One bar, just rock with Nick Mullins, man. I mean, he's not too bad, man.
Southern Miss, right?
Hey, man, invest, build around Dobbs, man. Invest, man.
That was such a quick stint. That was such a quick stint, man. Like that just like that feels like a fever dream. That Dobbs situation.
It was a fun week and a half, man. It was great to watch. And then reality kicked in, and it was Josh Dobbs.
They did Dobbs wrong, man. They need to give him a chance to be a franchise quarterback. All right, Unknown Fire Joe Barry said, "Go blue, great early B-Day gift, and go Pack, go baby."
I like the name. About it.
Bleed Green said, "Go Pack, go. Packers win 28-24. Time shall tell, man." We'll get into that on Friday as well. All right. I got 2 more questions here that I wanted to ask, though. I'm going to go with the Bears here. Where do you all go from here?
I mean, like Ryan Poles kind of came out and said it. They're doing a ton of evaluation. Same with Kevin Warren, which, I think Kevin Warren's doing a great job as CEO so far. But, all eyes are on free agency to start. That period's before the draft. And we traded the number 1 last year at the beginning of March. So I don't see anything happening until after the playoffs. But what Poles is doing is he's going to live at Hallis Hall for the next couple months. He's going to be looking at every single situation in regards to the trade back. And he kind of said that today too. He knows that he has the most powerful part of the offseason in anyone's eyes with that number 1 overall pick. So right now, just the whole team just needs to evaluate what they want to do. They're probably going to hire an offensive coordinator over the next couple of weeks. They need to do that. But also they need to hire a defensive coordinator because we don't have one. Flus was running that the entire season. So first things first, get some coordinators that are going to be the right guys that are going to take this roster to the next level, and then start focusing on, who you're cutting. We got a ton of big contracts we can get rid of, and then, see how much cap we got. Re-sign Jalen Johnson. That's got to happen. I see a lot of Bears fans in the chat. I know everybody wants Jalen Johnson back. I want him back more than anybody. And then we're going to start focusing on free agency and train back that number 1. So we got a big offseason ahead for sure.
All right. And last, one bar, where do you all go from here?
It's a good question. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, the honeymoon's over. Year 3 is coming up, and it's going to be interesting to see the direction they go. Is he going to be in panic mode? Is he going to try to pull they like to use the term competitive rebuild, which as a Vikings fan, we're so sick of hearing it, where they kind of tear it down, bring in some new guys, but they don't completely tear it down. So this is the offseason. I mean, could Kwesi, our GM, just tear it down and in his mind, maybe gain a couple years because he's going to get a little more wiggle room, go for that quarterback, get rid of some guys like Danielle Hunter? Or do we just rebuild? I mean, we have something we haven't had in a long time in the offseason. That's a little bit of money to spend. So that, along with an early draft pick, we'll see. Obviously, it all starts with Kirk Cousins, and we will find out in March where that goes. Because if Kirk Cousins is gone and we go for a young quarterback, I think that'll decide where this team goes. But regardless, I don't think they completely tear it down. I think they do some half thing and give Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi a little more wiggle room there. But we'll see.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The game recaps. And we will be having the game previews on Friday night at 7 p.m. right here on the NFC North Roundtable. Come tune in on Friday night, 7 p.m. for the game previews for the Lions versus the Rams and the Green Bay Packers versus the Cowboys. So make sure you guys come back. Until next time, we love you here at NFC North Roundtable. Thank you for those who donated to the channel. Hit the like button and subscribe. Peace. We are out until Friday. We'll see you soon.